What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're talking about esports boxing club. But as you can tell by the title, we're talking about 5 brands I would love to see in esports boxing club. Now, I know it's not as simple as just getting them. You can't just go, give me Nike, give me Adidas, give me whatever. It's not as simple as that. There are tons of brands, and I will be trying to show screenshots throughout so you guys can see why I love them specifically. Because there's some things that some companies do some things well, and they do other things poorly. So I'm kind of showing you guys the things in particular that I like about each one. So I have done 5 and then some honourable mentions where we don't go into too much detail. I apologise if I miss your favourite or maybe the brand that you use or the brand that you like the most. There are so many, it would be too... I couldn't just throw every single one in here. So I thought I would just do my top 5. And obviously they already have Clear Arrays and Rivals. That was confirmed in February, which works well as Clear Arrays is one of my all-time favourite brands. I think the gloves are so fucking clean. I was so happy when they got announced. And also, just before I forget, Everlast. People didn't think Everlast was confirmed. The photo of Eddie Hall holding gloves was a render by 1024, the guys that are helping with the 8K bodies and screenshots and stuff. That was never actually a confirmed brand. So while that doesn't mean it's not in the game, but it also means it's not confirmed. So, you know, could be either. Who knows? So in no particular order here, we're going to start with Grant. Right off the start, I mean, you guys already know this is an absolutely legendary brand in my opinion. Always looks amazing, always seems to be at the top of the top in some of the biggest fights. I'll try and get some fights up where it's been big fights where they've been worn, and you know, always using big fights. I just love them in general. I did look to buy some, but it's one of those brands, it's a real, either one, it's a real bitch to buy, or two, you can only have them if you're a professional fight, like given to you for the fight. They're a real bastard to get your hands on. I think normally the only time people will ever have Grant gloves is if they are signed by a fighter and given as a prize, or, you know, they've bought them for like $3 on eBay and then they've met the fighter and signed them or whatever, you know. So it's not an easy brand to get hold of, I can't imagine. But they got hold of Clear Arrays, so I do hold out for them having Grant. With Clear Arrays is also a legendary brand, I could see Grant definitely being possible. And then next up, we take our talents to a bit more of a training gear, if you will. While it is worn in professional fights, it's much more, in my opinion, of a training gear, and that is winning. Super clean designs, always such clean colours. Everyone seems to wear the brightest colours, and I love it. I will put obviously some of the fighters, like I said, photos up of them training in it. I think the likes of, Gervonta Davis, but I know for a fact Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao have them. They have the embroidered names on their forehead as well, I'm pretty sure. The headgear you can get it stitched in, and they always have Mayweather or Pacquiao or Pac-Man or whatever. This does seem to be more of a training gear. If you go to buy winning, you can actually get headgear, groin gear, and gloves in a set. So for me, it's much more of a training gear. And as we have spoken about wanting sparring in the game, and we have spoken about wanting amateurs in the game, I think this is a brand that makes sense for the training. And yes, you can have it in real fights. Fighters have worn them in professional bouts, but some of the top fighters have worn them in professional bouts. But for me, it seems to be this is always the top guys. This is their go-to training gear. And obviously, you know, like I said, with the stitching on, that will probably be the reason why. And you do always see some of the best fighters wear the brightest colors. You know, I think Mayweather has like bright green. I think Pacquiao has like bright blue. I think Gervonta Davis, if that's who I'm thinking of, has pink. A great brand, and a brand that I yet again went to buy, relatively expensive, so it was a bit out of my price range when I first started boxing, but a brand that all in all I would love to own one day. I love it. A simple design, it's clean, colours always look good. I'm a big fan. And now we go on to one that will probably shock you guys, and I want you to hear me out before before bombarding me, because I understand how it's gonna sound right off the start, and that is Reebok. I know this is a shock, because after the UFC stuff, that looked kind of naff. No one was a real fan of the UFC stuff. It did look a bit shitty. But the reason that I'm doing it is for one reason in particular. The reason these guys are on the list is for one reason. It's not the gloves, it's not the shorts, it's the boots. I have these boots in real life. I put the ones that I have in particular up on screen now. I have these boots in real life. They have got the Reebok, while they fuck up a lot of things, they've got the cleanest colour scheme when it comes to their boots. I fucking love them. Mayweather wore these exact boots, I believe, in the Andre Berto fight. I think it was Andre Berto. I don't know if it was or not, but I'm pretty sure he wore them. You see, they have 2 different designs. They have these ones that I've shown you with like the triangle, which is the new Reebok, and then I'll show you the old Reebok ones that also Mayweather has worn a lot of. They are so comfortable. I've worn them and Everlast as the 2 boots, and Reebok hands down are the best when it comes to that. Between those 2 anyways, I can't say, you know, out of those and Nike and everything like that, but for how much they cost, for the price they are, for how good they look, and the pros that wear them, they are amazing, amazing boots. I would love to have literally those boots in particular in the game, because honestly, I think they're fantastic. Other than that, Reebok don't really interest me. The gloves are pretty naff. The shorts I'm not a fan on. But the boots, oh my god, I love them. They're so sick. Honestly, I could talk about them all day. They're so nice. But then they've got the Velcro across, and they're quite a high boot as well, which I love. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, I'm a big fan. So I know that's a bit of a shock, but I hope kind of looking at them explain. And also, I shoot them on the Discord, like my boots and stuff, and people seem to love them. So I'm sure there'll be some people that say they're shit anyways, just because they've got hatred for Reebok. But I think they're fantastic. And then we're going to go on to the final two, and I think the final two, maybe some of you definitely won't have heard of this next one, and the brand after that is just a bit of a brand that I just, is a bit of a unique brand, if you will. So, number 4 is Fly Sports, or Fly Sports UK, or whatever they prefer to be called. This is a UK company, so I don't know if everyone in America's heard of them the way everyone's heard of Grant, the way everyone's heard of Nike, but they are a very expensive company for the UK. But they are some of the cleanest gloves I've seen. I love the custom that some people at my gym have, like white and gold and stuff. They're so clean. I'm a big fan. They look like they fit nice. I think the most famous person, if you call them famous, to wear them was Joe Joyce, I believe. I think Joe Joyce wore them in a fight, in a professional bout. But like I said, they are a UK-based company, so you don't get the likes of Pacquiao, Mayweather, Canelo, Triple G like that wearing them. They're not as mainstream as the rest, but they are still super clean. I've been a big fan of them since day dot when I first started boxing. I like the look of them. Obviously, when it comes to the comparison between them and Winning and them and Grant, it's leaps and bounds. Fly Sports are down there. But for me personally, they're better than a lot of the other companies that I have in honorable mentions when it comes to the likes of Venom and RDX. Like, I like them, but they're not. Fly Sports are definitely, while they are very expensive, they are good. Their colours are good. The quality is good. It always looks like it's worth the money, but they are expensive gloves. But I do like them a lot, and I thought I'd give a bit of a shout out to a UK company. And then the final brand, I don't know if everyone's heard of them or not. It's not like I'm going to act like one of those indie people that go, I don't know if you've really heard of this band. They're quite underground. They're called the Arctic Monkeys. I'm not acting like that. This is just a brand that, for starters, they're a fucking bitch to get your hands on. They're a bitch to get your hands on. I think they call themselves the Godfather of boxing. I think that's what they call themselves. And that is, I hope I pronounced it right, Dinado. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And yeah, these gloves look sick. They are some of the most unique boxing gloves I've ever seen. Whether or not they're comfy, I don't know. Whether or not they work well, I don't know. Not a lot of people wear them. There could be a reason for that. But just through pure vision, I like the look of them a lot. Do these guys deserve a space on my top 5? Not really. They could have been honourable mentions, and one of the honourable mentions could have been here. But I thought because they're so unique looking and the way you have to get a hold of them, if you want to get some, I looked at it, I went on their website, and if you want to do buy or customise or order or customise, if you want to order, you have to put your phone number, your email, your name, you have to put a comment to like why you want them, and the order reason. And then you have to, if you want to customize it, just says, welcome, put an order through and we'll try and get back to you. They're a bitch to get a hold of. So, clearly one of the rarer brands to get your hands on. While they are a bit busy with how much stitching they've got and how much logos they've got and how much writing they've got on for a glove, I like them a lot. I think they're a unique brand and they're a bitch to get the hold, like I said again and again. But they're pretty unique and I thought I'd add them to this list. And then for honorable mentions, lots of these brands I do like, but I just didn't want to go through all of them in such detail. So obviously we've got Venom, which is a good brand, I think they're with Vasily Lomachenko, I think they're with. He always wears the purple and yellow ones, which are pretty cool. But I've had Venom before, I'm not a fan on them. They feel kind of, until you get the expensive ones, their mid-range price are low quality, whereas a lot of gloves mid-range price, you can get some really good shit for it. Geezers, another UK brand, they actually have their own brand, but they also sell a lot of brands like Winning, Cleto Rays and stuff. And then we've got RDX, which is a pretty low-key brand. Another one that's very popular. Tony Ferguson wears the MMA version. But, yet again, quality is low. People, like boxing gyms, tend to buy them in bulk for kind of, to have them in case someone comes with no gloves, you can put them on. Not my favourites, and they always remind me of other people's sweaty hands. And then two top brands, you've got Nike and Adidas. I love the Nike boots. I love the Adidas boots too. But for gloves and shorts, shorts, obviously, they're good because, Nike and Adidas are somewhat of a clothing brand, a sports brand. But for me, when I think of boxing, I don't think of Nike and Adidas. I do think of the Nike white and gold boots because they're really clean. But I don't think of boxing as a whole when I think of those two companies. And the last one is a local one from my hometown, and that is Chaos Boxing. I have them gloves. They're clean, they're nice, they're cheap. Great value for money. And I like them a lot, but that's why it's an honourable mention. But that's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know your 5 brands, or if you guys agree with me or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, we've already got Clear Rays and Rival, which is an awesome 2 brands to have in. I'd be quite happy with that, to be honest. But I thought I'd talk about some brands because that's one thing I haven't done yet. But yeah, so thanks so much as always, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.